Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of Into the Void. Today, we have a game between Kamblsh and Eurotrash on Acolyte, the latter edition. In the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It is Eurotrash. And in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Kamblsh. I feel like there should be one more vowel in there somewhere, but there's just the A, so we're going to roll with it. This is Into the Void. For those of you who it is your first time, welcome aboard. This is my weekly examination, and sometimes less often than that, of Silver and Bronze League level gaming. The replays are sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. They are screened for, you know, low-level play, interesting stuff. Whoa. Highlighting stuff lifts it up a little bit. Boing, boing, boing. Anyway, interesting stuff, crazy things, stuff we can learn from. This is what Into the Void is all about. Learning how to be a better player of StarCraft 2 all the way around. Again, falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Into the Void. Scouting at this level, I always suggest scouting. Just do it. Send an SCV out. Send your probe across the map. I know it is scary, but there's very little that can kill you this early in the game. So, the probe comes in for Eurotrash. You will see there's no quick expansion. That's good information. He will see there is no way to get up this ramp. So that means that Kamblsh might be trying to hide something. It is a double refinery, fully saturated on both of those refineries already, which means there is something in the works here. Unfortunately, let me stick around a little bit. If there's an SCV on the outside, see if the SCV wants to get back inside and kind of tail along. Maybe you can try that. There's your factory. There's your glowing jellyfish. My favorite part of this map. I like Acolyte for the glowing jellyfish. And expanding is Eurotrash. So now this might make you worried a little bit if you're the Protoss player, right? Cybercore way up here. We'll come back to this. If you're going to expand and your opponent is on one base, keep the probe around. Run him from here. Also, maybe, I guess, did check another potential expand location. Can't really check this, unfortunately, this early in the game, but you have to worry a little bit that it's a one base out of your Terran opponent, but at the same time, maybe you can't really know here in Acolyte. That's rough. That is a rough deal. I mean, he is working. I guess he has another gateway. I was going to say robotics facility. Anyway, point number 4 is going to be don't really build your buildings this far away from your main base. Either wall off against incoming attacks or else keep them close to your nexus. Those are your two options here. If they're close to your nexus, Photon Overcharge can cover a lot of stuff. Your units don't have to run back and forth. If an army drops over here, they can easily pick off 3 of your buildings without having to get anywhere near this section of your base. So it's better for you that way. Forward pylon being tossed down by Eurotrash. He has some plans here. Oh, does he get scouted? No. Oh, he does get scouted by the Marine running around doing his job. Having map control, good stutter. Step 2 does pick off the probe. Dang, this Marine. Best Marine of the game so far. I mean, only Marine of the game so far, but that's just fine. Cyclone's done. Starport done here too. He has a lot of gas, Kamblsh does, and he is getting a reactor. He's getting a factory with a tech lab. He's making more Marines. This is a very interesting non-standard type build, I would say. So making some stalkers real quick as Eurotrash. He's got Warp Gate being researched and robotics facility coming up at about 3.5 minutes. So this is a silver versus silver game. Again, this is not your daddy's Wings of Liberty. The Wings of Liberty bronze and silver players had no idea what they were doing. They were all over the place. They didn't know how to spend their money. They didn't know how to make buildings. We generally see some of that here, but not nearly as bad as it used to be. As we can see by the scouting Marine here, this would never happen in Husky's Bronze League Heroes. That is for sure. But I think those players are few and far between. If you're playing StarCraft, it is very unlikely that you are a brand new player to StarCraft. It's just rare, I guess. Stargate for Eurotrash 2, still working on that Warp Gate and not actually chrono boosting it. Usually you do want to chrono boost this. It's a very long upgrade, 114 seconds, and you're more vulnerable if you don't have it. Also, if your Mothership Core is going to be protecting this front door, throw a pylon or 2 up here just so she has something to photon overcharge in case an attack does come up your ramp. For example, this Cyclone, which all by himself is going to try to come up this ramp against 4 Stalkers. I don't know, man. Yeah, smart. Okay, so big thing about StarCraft and getting good at StarCraft is knowing when to retreat, and that's a good thing. You'll notice that the pro players, if you watch the replays on my channel, they won't commit every time. They'll come in with a big army, take stock of the situation, see exactly what they're dealing with, and then if it's too much for them, if they feel like they would just get wiped out and give their opponent a huge advantage in army supply, they'll pull back. And maybe both players don't like the situation. They'll both pull back. That happens 100 times a game in a pro game. What really is the problem here in lower levels is that that pulling back concept, that instinct, is not quite honed yet. So we'll see players just pretty much Leroy Jenkins themselves directly into an opponent's base, even if it's a terrible situation. For example, these are tanks on the high ground for Kamblsh. And if the Stalkers try to come in here and deal with this tank, it's going to be any more tanks on the way? No, not really. Be nice if there was more than one. Oh, good, another one. He heard me. Kamblsh. Here's it. There are more than one tank, and you only have a few Stalkers. Some players would try to A-move into this, just completely blind to the fact they're getting rocked by Siege Tank from high ground. And others will very smartly retreat. So let's see how Eurotrash responds to this tank fire he's going to receive right now. And taking shots, not really moving, losing a Stalker here in the process. And yeah, the Stalkers are moving away, but that's only because they're getting attacked by... Yeah, this is bad. This is real bad. This tank is getting way too many shots off here. This is something you will not see at higher levels of StarCraft. These Stalkers, there's tank fire. Are you going to try to blink up somewhere? I just can't imagine what this is, unless they're just a distraction. Trying to keep Kamblsh's attention here at the front door while the Warp Prism comes in, which actually might work out super well. Warp Prism, do your thing. There is no detection of this natural base. Ah, but there is a Marine drop at the natural base of Eurotrash. This is really strong stuff here. They don't have Stim. They don't have Combat Shield. They don't have +1/+1, but they are still terrifying at this stage of the game. Oracle comes sneaking in from Eurotrash. Where did you come from, Oracle? I don't know, but you're murdering all of the SCVs. Do I have an Oracle name? I'm trying to decide if I have an Oracle name ready to go here, and I think I do. Meanwhile, there is an attack going on back on the other side of the map. I have not forgotten about this, but it's pretty much being unopposed, so not much to talk about there. Actually, same thing here. This is entirely unopposed. This is Pulsari, a hero Oracle whose Pulsar Beam can attack air targets as well. I mean, that's okay, not actually true, but this is a very strong Oracle with 8 kills. Marines just kind of wandering around. Are they going home? I mean, okay, Photon Overcharge is scary. This Mothership Core is full on energy. Ah, the Marines do respond with Cyclone support here. Warp Prism very smartly getting the heck out of there. Oracle has the 8 kills. Both players have lost workers. 20 probes have been killed compared to 5 SCVs. Only 5 SCVs. What else has the Oracle killed here? 5, 6, 7. How does the Oracle have 8 kills? There's only been 7 units destroyed in this game for the Terran player. Mysteries. Mysteries abound here and into the void. Ah, these Marines came... I don't know where they went. Oh, the Mothership Core. Get out of there, Mothership Core! That's the other thing. Reaction time when being attacked is very important. Void Ray killing Marines. Usually not great, but if the Marines aren't attacking you back, Void Rays are all right. If the Marines had just decided to attack... Where are you going, Void Ray? Oh, this is why control is so important. Was your attention somewhere else, Eurotrash? Possibly. Entirely possible. But man, that Void Ray was doing great against the Marines, and then decides, I've had enough killing Marines, I'm going to go stand by this ramp again. Seems totally fine. So yeah, we're 8 minutes into this game. It's 68 to 53 total supply. Kamblsh is up. Mules should help immensely in this situation, where your natural base is kind of out of workers. So in the time being, lost down 5 mules. We'll be just fine for income here. Medevac is empty, going home. Now, Void Rays are not great against a Bio-Terran player. If they have a lot of Marines, if they have any Vikings at all, you're going to struggle in this situation with your Void Rays. In general, Void Rays are not a great unit against Terran, but Eurotrash understands that at the lower levels, what works is not always the same. Would not be surprised to see Void Rays be incredibly effective in this match, just like they've already been, honestly. That Void Ray had no sense getting a Marine kill and injuring some others. Those Marines should have stopped, fired at it, probably killed it, and then moved on to this main base to attack. But instead, single track mind for Kamblsh. Wow, Pulsari's back here. 9 kills, 10 kills. There is a missile turret and Marines. Oh, that's a bad combination for an Oracle. Completely dead. Completely and utterly destroyed. Pulsari, we knew you well. Good job. Good killings, though. Good killings. All right, so we're sitting on 3 base here for the Protoss player. He's got 37 workers compared to the 31 from Kamblsh. Observer scouting on it to see what's going on. There's a missile turret on the way here, too, for Kamblsh. I like that. I like missile turrets against Protoss, just keeping them in the dark. Excuse me, getting a little sneezy here. Do I have allergies? I never have allergies. Ugh. Okay, I think I've muted all of those. I think I'm done. I think I'm done with sneezes for now. Wow, that was something. My dad didn't have allergies until he was about 40 years old, so maybe that's genetics. Fleet beacon alert from Eurotrash here inside his main base. Is he going for carrier? Carrier's good at the low levels. Not many players know you have to attack the carriers directly here in Silver in order to kill them. Usually go after interceptors, which actually, if you're Terran, is not too bad. Marines and Widowmines especially great at killing interceptors just straight up and making the carrier useless at that point in time. 44 to 31 harvesters. Eurotrash looking good here, but expanding to his third is Kamblsh, and a 3-base Terran is pretty darn scary. Who's spending their money here? Kamblsh is sitting at 1,000, 1,000. Eurotrash is at 400, 1,500. But Eurotrash is planning on going carrier at some point here, and so it's going to be a lot of gas that he needs. So I'm sure this gas bank will be removed very, very shortly, assuming he decides to use it. Which he is not. There we go. Carriers on the way. Little mineral starved is where he's at. He could probably stand to have about 8 more workers at his third, couple more at his main. And it looks like he is fully saturated with 16 out of 16. Here it is natural, despite that one being the site of a lot of aggression from his Terran opponent. Charge being already searched by Eurotrash. Really like that charge upgrade lately. Pretty darn good against Bio. Not too bad, but it's a full-on Marine tank play here. Plus 1 attack done for the Marines. Stim is done for them too. They do have the combat shield now. Now, the trick here is that our Terran player, Kamblsh, really needs to start moving out at some point here. He's got a pretty big army, got medevac support, got Marauders, got tanks, looking good. It looks like he heard me. He's moving out. He's got Vikings, too, to combat the carriers and the Void Rays, but he only knows about the Void Rays, but Vikings work against carriers very well as well. Oh, a mothership. We don't see many motherships here and Into the Void. Eurotrash working on one here at this third base. And Kamblsh is making these little tiny baby steps across the map. Do-doop, do-doop, do-doop. He's not even scanning ahead to make sure he's not running into a trap of some kind. What he's doing is giving Eurotrash enough time to get this carrier group up, which is really scary news. If you happen to be a Terran player who's coming to attack him. Shields level 2 being researched. That makes sense for the Sky Toss, because shields benefit flying units and ground units. He kind of has a mixture of both right now. That mothership's going to be ginormous. Gonna be a big deal for Eurotrash. All right, so again, these baby steps. Commit! You just see Bjorn do this? Nah, man. Bjorn never does this. Bjorn commits. He lets his guys catch up once he's already at the front. Set up the siege tanks. Protect them with the tanks and the Marauders. Use the Vikings to shoot down the Sky Toss that is coming your way. I think you got this thing, Kamblsh. I really think you do. I wish your name was Kamblsh or something. Kamblsh, something easier to say, but Kamblsh it is. Got his rally. Going for a 4th base now, too. Establishing that one ahead of his opponent. That's going to be good. It's going to be real good for him. Okay, you can knock down these rocks in about 8 seconds with your Marauders and your tanks. Do it. There we go. That was about 8 seconds. I feel like my estimate was solid there. Okay, that's it. He's shot off his weapons. It's time to go. Trying to drag him up with the camera. Get up. Get up here. 174 to 146 total supply. Kamblsh is up. He's down about 10 in workers. Also, he could stand to be making more stuff, but production tab looks pretty healthy back home. Dark Shrine just finishing up, and here we go. Tanks setting up, getting rid of these cannons at the front. Tanks are great at dealing with these defensive structures. And going forward, stimming on in. Is this all he has, he says? Is this all that Eurotrash has? No! It's a mothership! Everybody kill the mothership. Is he target firing anything right here? Not really. The Marines are trying, I think, to take down the mothership, and they are. They do get it, but these carriers are still alive. That ground army is getting decimated. Void Ray is so good against the medevacs here, too. Marauders got in there somewhat, getting chased away by Adepts. And it is time to get the heck on out of here. Picking up, boosting out, running, losing a medevac in the process, but everybody else does manage to make it out. All 4 medevacs in the escape party. My goodness, that was a pretty decisive victory in the favor of our Protoss player. What are we looking at here? It is gonna be 4,700 resources lost for Kamblsh compared to 5,500 for Eurotrash. So, all right, lost a little bit more there, but survived. Carrier group, I don't think he lost any of his carriers. He lost his mothership, kind of just tanked all the damage there while the carriers did the work. And 3 more carriers at a time on the way. This Sky Toss, the Sky Toss from Eurotrash, working pretty well so far. And yep, double pumping Vikings, working on Thors. That single target attack mode of Thor is going to be pretty good against these carriers too. And honestly, Marines, the reason you don't see many carriers in PvT at the pro level is because Marines with full upgrades in Stim just melt them out of the sky. Marine are so good. They are so good against Sky Toss. And if you let the Marines get underneath your carriers, like it's hard to avoid, honestly. They will just chew you up and spit you out. Spit you right out. But 4th base is done for Kamblsh. She's at 58 and 50 harvesters. A little bit down on that front, but that's okay. Void Array Carrier Army. Does he have an observer with this army? He doesn't. I feel like never go anywhere without an observer. If you're Protoss, they're pretty cheap. Also some idle probes up here. You always want to check your idle probe indicator in the top left. Just be constantly looking at that, looking at your supply. There you go. And then putting those probes to good use somewhere else. Oversaturating your 3rd isn't exactly good use. Natural, pretty darn oversaturated too. And expansion is long overdue for Eurotrash here at 16 minutes. Sitting on 3 bases, just nope. That's a bad metrics. Researching Storm is Eurotrash. We can storm up those Marines, storm up those Vikings. Everything else gets cleaned up pretty easily by the carrier. So we'll see if we can get that done. Kind of a pre-split here from Kamblsh, but I think that's just from attacking these rocks and this debris that was here previously. +3/+3 on the way for Kamblsh. That is not bad. A 17-minute +3/+3 for this guy. I mean, I've seen some higher level games where +3/+3 isn't done 20-25 minutes into it. So good job. Good job by you getting those upgrades. Way, way, way into upgrades. Quick plug for the podcast. As long as there's a bit of downtime here in this replay as a mothership comes in from the mothership core. Podcast, there's a link in the description. It is myself, Falcon Paladin, and an Australian subscriber named Wade. We talk about the differences between Australian and American food. Talk about Rick and Morty. Talk about Game of Thrones. Talk about food in general. How McDonald's possibly did something to their fry recipe to make it not as delicious and tasty as it used to be. Check it out. Again, there's a new episode every week. Doesn't cost you anything. It's just an hour of your time. We try to keep it to within a reasonable time frame. It's called the Falcon Paladin Hour, and you should subscribe. 5th base coming in for Kamblsh. She is up there, expanding like a boss. Eurotrash, his 4th base is just about done here, but again, he keeps falling behind. His only hope is the sheer might of this carrier fleet. +2 attack just finishing up right now. +2 shields, +1 Protoss armor plating for the Sky Toss, making another Oracle, replacing Pulsari? Yeah, Pulsari that died earlier in the game, thanks to a combination of Marines and missile turrets. I think many an Oracle pilot has died to that particular combination. And there it is. Mothership has arrived. I know I've been saying this a lot lately, but holy smokes. I was watching the first gameplay video of StarCraft 2 that Blizzard released back in 2007, 2008, and the Mothership was so OP. It was the most overpowered unit I've ever seen, ever. I think it's a lot more balanced now. It's a good unit. Not ridiculous, though. Not ridiculously powerful. Viking fleet looking real scary out of Kamblsh here. Is he? Oh, he's coming back to get rid of his warp prism. That's been sitting here for the last 10 minutes, I think. That's hilarious. These guys have upgrades. +1/+1. Not too shabby. Now get back. Get back to... No, Vikings, we need you in the battle to come. We really do. Yeah, everybody meet up. Everybody meet up. Excellent job. +2/+2 on the way for the Vikings. Going to make them that much more scary. Is that what he's waiting for? Is he waiting for +2/+2? He's maxed out at 200 with only 52 workers. So his army value is insane right now. 11,700 compared to 11,600 for Eurotrash. So it's actually very close. Very close. Templar Storm can be a big equalizer. Carrier splash damage. Not splash, but it's kind of splash damage. Also a huge equalizer. Here we go. Big battle. Vikings getting this thing started. Man, not everybody attacking. There we go. Vikings are engaging, getting right on top of that mothership. She dies immediately. Storm on all of the things. Oh, the storms Just excellent here, allowing the carriers to do their thing from above. Vikings are still alive, though, and still a major threat, trying to pick off individual carriers here. Doing all right, but there just aren't enough of them left here. The Thor is not in single target at high impact payload mode, unfortunately, and that's it. No more anti-air. All the Marauders are dead. Tank dead here, too. Making 10 Vikings at a time, though, is Kamblsh. Eurotrash is up 152 to 92 total supply. This is counterattack. This is counterattack timing, Eurotrash. You just completely wiped off the face of the earth the Terran player. I know you're still trying to rebuild interceptors. I know you lost a bunch there, but seriously, go. You can at least take out this fourth base. There's nothing stopping that right now. Yeah, he is. Okay. He heard me. He comes right on in with the Oracle to see what's going on. And a couple Marines gone immediately to these Void Rays. A couple Vikings popping out. I know there are 10 Vikings in production at the time, but they're only kind of coming out one at a time here. Stalkers need to make these guys a priority. Carrier does fall, but wow. These carriers making a huge play. Good game out of Kamblsh. Kamblsh is defeated, and the counterattack by Eurotrash is 100%. Looks like he wants to stick around and do some exploring, do some murdering after his player did show the good manner and decide to leave. So, yeesh. That was a good one. Good little back and forth there. Pretty scary attacks coming from the Terran player, but just not enough against the might of Skytoss. Skytoss is real good at the lower levels, you guys. It just has a lot of DPS. You have to be very careful with it, especially with fully upgraded carriers. I mean, almost fully upgraded. Interceptors plus 3 attack anyway. 8 damage, 2 attacks. Every time they attack, it's 2. Range of 8, weapon speed 2.14, plus there are a bunch of them. There are 8 of them in here. Are there 8 of them in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Yep. That's what it be. So, as we watch the Golden Armada take down the Terran Instigators today, we're going to wrap things up here. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like what you saw and what you heard today. Hit that subscribe. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, as well as Twitch, all at /FalconPaladin. Very easy to find that way. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Broken and ashamed by what you have done. There is no redemption. And so you must run, and it's taken your heart and broken your soul. You cannot go back until you're made whole. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live. Place you can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, there's a light upon you, and you follow it on. Looking for a reason and a way to atone. All around you, the planets and stars. You're lost in a maelstrom. you can live. A place you can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, and you're running into the void. You go searching into the void. And you're running into the void.